Want to get on here and do a quick review for you. You had sent me this first picture here, and I gave you a critique. I actually took some notes and sent you the video recording part of it. It's late here at the station. I at least want to get you something back today. Shrink this down so we can see it better. Okay, got pictures of this young man, but this is a relaxed view. This gives us a lot better viewpoint. And from our vantage point here, this is quite different from the flex photo. You can see you got some pretty good lighting. He's in a flex position from the posterior anterior view, but this gives us a better idea on how things look from this is what anterior, posterior, then we got a lateral view. From the front view, his shoulder sits higher on that right side than the left, and it's slightly forward. It's consistent with the compensatory patterns we talked about from overuse, likely from the baseball days. Given his age during those developmental times, we're pretty keen to that's where probably some of these visuals are coming with. Must have been throwing really hard from that side. Mild torso lean to the left. You can see it here. He's leaning towards his left. It's subtle, but it's visible. It suggests, again, either that functional scoliosis we talk about or a bit of spinal rotation that's developed over time. He's got a long, lean frame. He's got a lot of room to fill in muscle-wise, given his genetics. And your husband's a tall, large man. And so, you know, at 6'6", this young man is, I think you said he's 5'10" or 6 foot. He's got some growing to do, but with this taller frame, he's got plenty of space to fill out, which is good. This side view here, okay, what we can see here is that he's got that head forward posture, and then the upper back rounding is what we call classic kyphotic curve. This curve here, kyphosis, where it's very pronounced. We'll see this in a lot of in the geriatric population just through time. And with him having such a long frame, this is something that we can mitigate via exercise and with some rehab. Okay, he's got a slight anterior pelvic tilt. We could see here. Anterior just means forward, and here's your pelvis here. That's something that we can note just based on the visuals there as well. In the back view, he's got the same asymmetry from the flex picture that we saw. That left scapula retracts and rests flatter than the right side. That right scapula is more elevated and flared. He's got a mild curvature along that spine. It's still visible and may become more noticeable as he gains muscles, unless it's corrected. That's where some of that corrective exercises will come in. So let's talk about the good things. The good things. He can build. His build so far is clean. No visible fat to hide his posture. So we can see what it is. This makes structural patterns easier for us to address early in this phase that he's at in life. Great lat insertion points. Okay, he's got a solid spinal length. He's going to look wide once he adds some mass and more control over time. Once he gets over that scapular movement, mobility limitation that we talked about. His body is coachable. Nothing screams, nothing's like a red, what do the kids call it nowadays? Red flags. He's not throwing red flags. He's just years of that one-sided pattern can absolutely be retrained. Okay, that's just outworking what he has going on there on the right side. It's kind of like a general plan. It's simple but effective. And of course, you can start building on this through time. Wall slides are something that's really good for scapular control. Those band pull aparts that we talked about, dead bugs or bird dogs, is something that can help him with that pelvic control and his core. 90-90 hip openers that's going to open up the anterior tilt and give it some balance. Foam roll for that thoracic spine to start opening up his posture. Now, the unilateral pulling or this, like the single arm, is something he's going to have to focus on. That's going to be something moving forward that he's going to have to continuously put in his routines as he goes forward, start making up on that side. Finish 1 or 2 days a week where he's doing this deep stretch and he's doing some breath work along that. This is a very simple framework and it's always going to need to be built and tailored to him over time, but at least gives you a good idea. And quite an extensive, I went real deep into this first one. I thought it was the one we're going to get, but this gives us a great idea because a lot of what we see here, we're able to visualize just based on this flex photo. We can see a lot of these things that were glaring out, like I told in that last video. I hope you found this helpful. I want to get you at least some information and you can share this with him. And there are things you could do, but the great thing he's got his time on his side is time and his youth and his recoverability. It'd be very different if he was someone like Coach Key is in his 40s trying to figure this stuff out. But you can't teach an old dog new tricks, as we know. But this young man is no old dog, and he's got a ton of tricks up his sleeves, but he got a ton of potential at the end of the day. Hopefully you found this helpful, and you need anything else, you know how to get a hold of me. Reach out.